This is TWiT.
I have here the OnePlus Buds Z2. OnePlus sent me a pair of these for review. I actually have them inside the case here, and I've been using these for a while. I've over the last several years used so many Bluetooth wireless earbuds, and so I'm always curious to kind of see where we're at, where the trends are heading. And these are only $100, so these are pretty inexpensive in the realm of wireless.
Comparison.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on to Amazon and you could find like $20, $30, $50 earbuds. But what you're going to get for $100 here, you're going to get some of the features that we're starting to see in the top of the line earbuds, things like active noise cancellation.
Okay.
So for $100, you get ANC on these earbuds. One thing to consider, though, is that some of the features that you get out of these are only available on OnePlus devices. So they're only available when you're paired with a OnePlus device. And it's not that that's abnormal. Apple does this with AirPods. You know, there's certain features that work between an iPhone and AirPods. Samsung does this with their buds as well. But so OnePlus is kind of doing the same thing here. And I'll name some of those. But you can kind of see, I always like to start with a case because the case is, you interact with it so often, right? And I kind of like that it's like a long, slender type case instead of a really big, thing that is going to fit strangely into your pocket. My one kind of criticism is that it's so slippery. Like it
does look super sleek and slippery. Yeah.
It is, and like getting it open sometimes. And I mean, even the earbuds are kind of like a shiny plastic. But it took me a while to kind of like when I have it in my ear like this, and then I go to put it in here. It took me a while to kind of get it sounds so petty, but get this like wrist flip action to get it to fit in there properly, but it snaps in with the magnet nicely and everything. The case itself is IPX4 rated, so that basically is just like splashing water, essentially, which is probably all you really need on a case. You do have the USB-C charging port in the back. It is not wireless charging supported, but again, any of those like it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Consider that you're spending $100.
Yes. I'm just glad it's USB-C and not micro USB.
Totally, so. Yeah. And OnePlus has been doing that with their recent, with their earbuds for a couple of years now. Thankfully, they've been pretty good on the transition to USB-C. The bud design themselves, I mean, I feel like I haven't used an AirPods Pro, but I feel like they have a very similar kind of footprint to the AirPods Pro. I have used some of their previous, the OnePlus Buds Z before them, and this stem was definitely a little bit longer. So they've shortened the stem. Any of the interaction that you're going to do with this earbud is done on this flat surface right here. So, tap to do different things, which is fine, except that there is no volume control on the tap controls. And I don't know, do the AirPods have volume control on the touch? The AirPods Pro, the stem it has a little force sensor in it. So you squeeze it, it just does play, pause, and then you can tap and hold to trigger Siri. Now, I am curious, is it capacitive touch or is it vibration? What is it that actually is working there on the side? What makes it? Yeah, it's a capacitive touch surface.
Because I don't like, there are...
this is the AirPods Pro, I believe. So the stem, look at the stem,
and
is almost identical.
The former AirPods, before the AirPods Pro came, they had that. Or actually, I can't remember if it was them, but there are several pairs of headphones where it is sort of a... I think it's a little accelerometer or something inside, so you have to make it move. But when you do that against your ear, you can hear every single bop, bop, bop as you're trying to make the sound.
Well, and not only that, these things fit into your ear canal. Any sort of movement kind of shakes that loose, and some earbuds are resilient to that sort of thing. Others, you don't want to, once you have it firmly in place, you really don't want to mess with it as far as that's concerned. So yeah, I mean, the touch sensitivity is fine. I've used buds that do allow for volume control enough so that I'm really used to it. And so when I don't have access to that, even in the settings, which there is an app that you can use to kind of customize some of the touch controls and everything, but you can't set volume control as a function, and that is something that I totally would set up if I had the ability. So I guess I knock it, but apparently, I just assumed that the AirPods could do that. But
they're very into you using Siri for things, so you can say, set the volume to 75 or turn up the volume.
Yeah,
turn down the volume.
That's something you can do.
Wait, what?
What's that? That's something that you can do.
Scooter X in the chat, am I wrong, Anthony? I didn't think you could adjust volume with your AirPods
If you
Pro.
could, then that's news to me also.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we might have a
Maybe
link in chat
the support document says use Siri to adjust the volume.
Well, you look that up. The Buds themselves are IP55 rated, so that's water resistance, dust resistance, and I was pretty active with these. Went for some jogs, which is kind of a test that I like to do with earbuds to see, okay, do they jostle loose? Do I have the right size and everything? And so if you're sweating, if you're out jogging in the rain, you're not going to have any issues with these. And I thought that was fine. It also has the automatic ear detection, so you remove it from your ear.
That's nice.
It pauses. That's pretty sweet.
That's an important feature.
Sound, of course. Oh, and by the way, one of the OnePlus only features of these is instant pairing. So, which I didn't really have a problem pairing these to my Pixel 6, which is the device that I primarily use them with. But you have that nonetheless if you have a OnePlus device. Sound, of course, is really important with earbuds, right? Mm-hmm. And another OnePlus only feature is Dolby Atmos support.
Okay.
So if you are into that, which I'm not really, I haven't really, explored that whole avenue very much. But if you are, you will need a OnePlus device to do that. Sound shaping, you do not get any sort of EQ or anything in the app, which I always find that to be a really big downside on earbuds.
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, me too.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a firmware update at some point that would allow that.
Yeah, eventually. I kind of, again, that's a feature that I think I take for granted because I feel like EQ is really easy to do.
Yeah.
But you don't get that. And I have even updated, the firmware and everything to its most recent and not available yet. But the sound itself, I would say it was okay. Like, keep in mind, again, these are $100 earbuds, right? Sound quality really emphasizes the low end, which you see a lot on kind of the lower end to mid-range earbuds, right? They want to hype certain frequencies to make them, or they think, to make them sound better. And what you end up getting out of these are an emphasized low end. The mid and high end, and particularly the mid, I just found it to be kind of a little papery, a little kind of flat. I listened to a good amount of music, and my listening experience was never like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like sometimes you get that right sound and you're like, yes, this sounds amazing. And I just didn't get that with these, but again, $100. So, there you go. Yes, I mentioned the noise the noise canceling, active noise canceling, ANC is another word for that. And the original Buds Z did not have that. So now with this upgraded Buds Z2, you do get the active noise cancellation. You have 2 steps of active noise cancellation.
Okay.
If you have their Pro headphones, you get 3 steps. And I would say the quality is a little better there. Here, it's fine. Like it does the job. But I've certainly heard better,
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, $100. I tended to use the more aggressive setting all the time. And of course, when you're doing that, your battery is depleting. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. I was able to get around 4 to 5 hours of battery on these with ANC active. I almost always use ANC on. So you get probably closer to 6 to 7 without that. So you get obviously longer battery life if you're not using the ANC. But 4 to 5 hours, there's better out there than that. But I'm rarely ever listening to something longer than 4 to 5 hours anyways.
Yeah,
so
they usually end up right back in the case before that happens.
Totally. And then, the case, I think, adds another 20 hours, if not more, if you don't use ANC. So yeah, that's kind of it. Overall, the OnePlus Buds Z2, I'd say, know what you're getting. $100 is not that expensive. And if you're looking on Amazon for the cheap, like $50, $60 earbuds, I'd probably recommend, if you have the extra $40 to just plunk it. But I've also used a lot of earbuds that are better in the $150, $200 range. That price difference, it feels easy for me to say, oh, it's just $50 more. I totally get price sensitivity. Exactly. Not everybody can do that.
Yep.
So you got to buy what you can. But definitely in this category of devices, if you can plunk down a little bit more, you're usually going to really notice the difference. You're going to hear the difference in the sound quality, and maybe you're going to get wireless charging out of the case, that sort of stuff. So yeah,
Nice.
so there you go. The
Do
OnePlus
they come in any
Buds
other colors?
Z.
I don't remember if you said that.
No. I believe it's just black. I could be wrong on that actually.
Black and white, it looks like.
Buds Z2. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you've got a white option as well, but they are all very shiny. So
Definitely shiny, slippery.
shiny and slippery.
You might want
There
to
you
buy
go.
some of those things you put in the bottom of a bathtub. Just stick one of those
Yeah.
on the top and on the bottom.
Oh boy, how do you take your new earbuds and make them ugly? You get a bathtub stomp pad and wrap it on it. So there you go, Buds Z2. And thank you to OnePlus for sending me these for review. Appreciate it.